good night, and welcome back to Ireland fans. It's a fresh new episode. We're here on this good Thursday night. It's 2 nights or 2 days. Really, Friday, yeah, Friday, Saturday, before the UCL final kicks off. And of course, you see Moy repping his flag, and you know that Moy is a big Manchester City fan. One of the not so many Manchester City fans locally, because I saw a video just now. They are already getting hot over there in Istanbul, and I do expect the atmosphere on Saturday in the stadium and in the build up to the game to be just that, because I can only expect Manchester City, having lost the final 2 years ago, coming into this game as favourites, full of it. They want to complete the treble, but then also on the inside, you're like, I don't want to say fortunate to be there, but coming into the UCL season, no one predicted Inter to be there. So they're now, they would love to make a good note for themselves. So it should be a big game, as UCL finals usually are. They're usually big games, but this one, I feel like both teams should be a bit nervy, but they need to let the what you call it, let the brakes off, and come roaring out, give us a good game to watch. I know Moy as a supporting member of Manchester City, he's not on that same wavelength. Moy wants to see City control the game from start to finish with 90% possession, 1,000 passes to Inter's maybe 200 passes, and that would be a good 1-0 game, 1-0 win for him if it turns out that way. For me, nah, man, run that thing 55-45 in terms of possession, 4-3 game, the 10 shots on target apiece for both teams. But Moy, that's just my take on it. How will you see this game going? I know we're gonna get in the full breakdown, but what are your nerves like right now? What are you thinking about right now, just 2 days before the final?
Um, there's still a little bit of calm nerves. I must say nothing has really kicked in as yet. But I know for sure when, everybody coming out, when I'm going to be listening the preview for the game, because all the channels are going to be previewing the game tomorrow for Saturday. So once I listen to those, I think I would start be feeling goosebumps at the nerves right there. Because the Champions League final is something that I really want to win, and just the other day, I sent y'all I think it's the 2 year anniversary of when I was crying on Island fans for when Man
You
City
do remember
lost.
that vividly. Our first ever
And
watch along.
honestly, until up to this day, it still touches me. And even if I watch it back, I do myself an injustice because I could cry every time I look at it, how sad it was. But yeah, that's one of the main reasons I would really like City to win. And I think it's probably our year this time. I'm not going to look over Inter Milan because, as I said on the previous show, it's like one of those games. It's not a Real Madrid or a Bayern Munich or let's say even a other Premier League team.
Yeah.
Because Real Madrid and Bayern, they're top teams, so you're already gear for it, excited all over. And the Premier League team, just like we did in Chelsea. It's Premier League teams are naturally going to be difficult for you even self, you play them much. But it seems to be an interesting game. I'm not going Inter should come and put out a fight, but I'm still going to trust my team that we go and do some job.
Suko is smiling here. He's saying Chelsea. Um, as of course you know, Suko is the one. Suko is supposed team that put tears into my eyes 2 years ago that you was just talking about. Derval saying good night. Big up yourself, Derval. So boy, your favorites again coming into this game, and rightfully so, because of the brand of football you've been playing ever since maybe just cut the season off from March, from February until now. You're playing at the, I mean, we saw you let Real Madrid look ordinary, like just a basic team on the day. Inter is not on the level as Real Madrid. You rightfully said just now, you don't want to discard them, but anything less than a comfortable win I know you just want to win it. But anything less than a comfortable win, will you be a little worried about that? Man, didn't hear me again.
I had the last part cut out. I heard everything except for the last
Right,
part.
that was out to anything. I know you just want to win, and any kind of win would do. But you're expecting this to be a comfortable win, ain't it?
Yeah, yeah, I expect us to get to it comfortably, especially, looking at the fact how we played against Bayern Munich and also against Real Madrid. Yes, those teams managed to score on us, but especially just looking at the game against Bayern Munich. And one thing I noticed about City in the Champions League this season than previous Champions League. Previous Champions League, doing the City, everybody know we always trying to just go in for the kill. Even self try to overkill even
Right,
if this game and then that's probably help us to our downfall, help teams get back into the game, keep themselves on top. But this Champions League season, I think they go into it, the familiarity of the tournament. Even if though we winning, we try to be conservative with it, not too anxious to try and get forward and just throw everything. And we are I always rely on City's defense. I'm a big person when it comes to the defensive work of City, especially with Rodri. And I said that with Ake or Akanji behind there, I feel more defensively sound and more comfortable. So I think
right.
that's something that will favor this Champions League, that we're very much defensively sound and we're not going in overcommitting ourselves. And it's basically a balance there, and we go out when we need to do it and stay conservative when we really need to.
All right. Well, I mean, Darren is saying, he's touching home side tomorrow, guys. If we watching the game together somewhere, we usually go up by more. We usually go up by more. So just hit me up, and that's when we'll be watching the game. On Saturday. The kickoff is Saturday. Not Saturday. It's 3 o'clock, right?
Yep.
3 o'clock kickoff. All right. So we're watching it up there by morning. That's our usual watch along spot. We don't know if we're doing a watch along this time. We gotta work through some logistics. But boy, I'm looking at this game, and who would you say is the danger man for Inter Milan?
Um, I would say Lataro because I think he's on a decent run of form. Lataro could cause us some problems. Um, I think they could try to at least try to see if they could get something together in the midfield. So Barella would
Right,
be
right.
there to try to help them out. But yeah, maybe yeah, I think that.
But you're not afraid of the big bad Lukaku?
I don't think he would start the game though.
I mean, Lukaku, like that man was saying, they were saying on the show the other night. Lukaku has been pictured with somebody incredible lately. So he has a little added motivation there in the stands. Are you not afraid that the
I
big bad Lukaku wants to put on the show?
as I came on the show and they were saying the only way Inter Milan win is if, just before the game, Meg texts Lukaku, them like a secret thing.
Yeah,
Win the game, come back to the hotel later, bring the
it
Champions League
done the trouble.
trophy. Yeah.
Suka saying definitely Suka, you know the thing, definitely. But what are you looking forward to from your team, from your team in particular? In terms of if you are, let's just say the game is tight, game is cagey. Who are you looking to unlock everything? Because we know you have big bad Haaland, but let's say nothing's going Haaland's way. Who else can come to the party?
There's so many players I could look at and say that they have something living up to the game. Like I think with Haaland's poor run of form, he would look to try to get in the to try to get on the score sheet for sure. We're looking at the works of what De Bruyne can just naturally do. But I think Gundogan could continue his fine run of form and have a huge impact on this
That
game
guy going to
because I
that.
think this is a game where I know De Bruyne can whip a ball from anywhere and make something out of nothing, easy as that. But I think this game call for Gundogan as a calm presence when the game, seems like free flowing, and he just that calm person takes it down a notch and he can carry it back up when he
I
needs to. So I think he could have a big impact on the game.
interesting enough. I hear your point there, Moy. Um, Suka saying Jekko is one to watch out for. He's an ex-City player, by the way. That's an added storyline there. He says Alvarez and Mahrez. Derval is also saying Mahrez or Jekko could be the game changers. However, what I wanted to ask you, or what is the point I wanted to make? Yes, Gundogan been on the good run of farm. We know Hala. We know the goodness of Manchester City, but I think the one person I'm looking at, if nothing is going for City, especially during with the starting lineup, and we're going to get to your preferred starting lineup in a bit, but it's that man, Mahrez. It's that man, Mahrez, I think, would be the one, would be the game changer, like Derval rightfully said. Mahrez would be that game changer. Do you still support him in having that kind of impact in a subpar season?
Of course, 100%. I always refer to him as my Algerian king because that boy, especially when it comes to Champions League, we
Yes,
always talk about different
yes.
players have fairy tales, or they competition, or teams they love playing against. He loves playing in the Champions League, and whether he's starting or coming off the bench to make an impact, that's what he loves to do. It's that's his thing. So I'm just ready and geared up to see what the
Last
fellas come with Saturday.
last time I can remember we had a whole preview show. We had build up to the game. We had all that. And one of the first notable admissions you saw and you pointed out, and rightfully so, was the omission of Rodri in the starting lineup. No, I don't think that Pep will ever make that mistake in his life again. What is your preferred starting lineup? And do you think that preferred starting lineup is what Pep will do?
So, that's such a dangerous question to even ask a City fan or any fans in general, because we all know what Pep has some way of thinking and mind to change the lineup. But my preferred lineup would be the lineup that we have been running for the past games that have seemed steady. I would go with Edison in goal. I don't think Aki gets back in the team, so I'm going with Akanji left back, Stones and Diaz and Kyle Walker to round up defense. The midfield is the same: Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne, and I'm going with the same front three. Well,
Yes.
yeah, the same front three: Grealish, Haaland, and
Haaland.
yeah.
I mean, with the farmer you've been in for the past couple of weeks, rightfully so. I think the team picks itself. But Pep is a tweaker. Pep is he's like a tinker man, and I just can't sit here like Pep would overthink this, and it could work. Very well could work, but
The only thing that I could probably see maybe a little change in it. Well, the left, but no, I don't think Ake gets back in the team because I already think you should trouble that defense because they have been clicking for the last, let's say, month or so.
right,
But maybe the only change, I know Grealish probably had some kind of little knock, so that, but I don't think it was
okay,
serious. Maybe maybe only the front line I might see changing, but I think Bernardo is probably crucial and all. Because his defensive work and his attacking work, where he can normally do tracking back. So I think, maybe just a front line is maybe, Foden, Grealish, or Mahrez, Bernardo. But I think the team that I said he would go with.
I've been we've been talking for a while no more, and the prospect of you winning seems likely. I'm not gonna sit here like Inter could probably don't mind this, and it is football, and we know that's a beautiful game that we all have to see. But like I put in the title, I asked the question: can Pep afford to lose another UCL final at Manchester City? I know he has won everything, and he's won 2 trophies so far this season. But would this put a damper? You have to chase down Arsenal, brilliant. You had a good run in the I think Ortega didn't concede a goal in the FA Cup run until the final. Would this derail or would this put a damper on your successes for the season?
No, I wouldn't say that because winning
But this is the one
Premier.
you want, boy.
Yes, but Sharp, as it goes back, you remember that
And,
show, the
but
TV
my
show.
also, so hold your point. Remember your point. But wouldn't you say that you'd give up Prem and FA Cup to win the CL? Would you in this position right now? If you say, yo, you have to sacrifice those two trophies, but you don't win the CL, would you take that?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't. Well, this is the
Honestly,
big one, boy. This is the elusive one.
I honestly wouldn't. Yes, that just comes to my mind like something. Yes, we need to win it, and it's like the back of my even if we don't win it, the same narrative story is going to always go on. And at this point, it gets boring. You hear the same thing. Oh, you don't have a Champions League or whatever. Yeah, fine, it is what it is. But the Premier League and the FA Cup, I think I hold those things to such high expectations. Especially, me and you had that conversation the other day with you know, if I would prefer winning the FA Cup or the Champions League, and I told you I would prefer the FA Cup is probably more important because of us playing against United, and if they win, the whole talking and stuff. But nah, my two trophies for the Champions League, I would stick with those, honestly.
I hear you. I hear you. All right. Okay. All right. So answer the question then. Now, can Pep afford to lose it? Would that like just tarnish his legacy?
No, it wouldn't tarnish his
Okay,
legacy.
tarnish
Okay,
is a
it
strong
would.
word.
I think you know what I mean. It would. We know the talking is going to be there. How that's the whole reason he came to City to win the Champions League, and I think that's rubbish. I think he came there to put us more on the map, try to get us more involved in everything. But you won everything, not winning the Champions League. Going to consider it failure as he would per se, but um, I wouldn't really think any of it because it's just like when we played Chelsea. I think we won like two trophies that season also, and it's the same this season. So I mean, it's still a successful season because we managed to win two trophies and then losing the Champions League. The talk is going to be sad or whatever if we manage to lose the game. But I can't really see anything troubling Pep on that stuff. I think we lose. If we lose, we go again, try to do what we have to do. That's me.
You
I know
brought.
a lot of people
I
would
mean,
have.
you brought him to win. You brought him to win the Big A trophy, bro. You brought him in to win the Big A trophy, and time again, he has let you down. Okay? We know the word battle has been used a lot this season. If you lose that game, would you say that Pep continues to battle it in the Champions League?
I Well, we did battle it against Real Madrid. I guess when you have these kind of competitions, it depends in the manner of way that you lose it. Because in the Chelsea, when we played Chelsea in the final, I wouldn't say we battled that. But in the Real Madrid game, I would say that we managed to battle that game for sure. But it would be depends in the manner of way if we lose it. Because I'm a big thing. Manager puts out players, and then you can tell if the players are up for the game or not. So then that all depends on it, whether you can blame players or blame manager. But but yeah, the ball headed genius, the ball headed genius will come to this time, man.
I mean, you see, Derval, you see, as successful as Pep has been, a terminology like that to put in, it would be far fetched. I don't think the masses would like. We can't say Pep is a specialist in Champions League. Yes, of course, we know he won it, but in recent times, just keep losing at semi-finals, getting knocked out here, getting knocked out there. Lost to Chelsea in the in the finals 2 years ago. And if he did lose to this Inter team, which I don't think this Inter team is putting up any kind of trees. When I go to their squad, yes, Skriniar is there. I think Onana keeps for them. So it's Onana, Skriniar. They have a I can't remember the other centre back name there. Huh?
They have Bastoni.
Bastoni, that's the one I couldn't remember. Bastoni, the midfield is good. I have Barella is in there. He's as good as any midfielder right now. Barella, Shanalaglu, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Brozovic,
Dumfries will do a job, on the wing back and all.
Dumfries, right? Dumfries is there. I think they start with two strikers, isn't it? Lautaro and Jacko.
Yeah, probably the time and Jacko.
Joe is coming in. Yeah, Joe, what vibes?
Yeah, I'm going.
You camera clear like a one man, I want to go on there.
That's cool, man.
It like you moved to a new location. Like
Same
that
location.
6G or something.
I just wipe off the camera, that's all.
Okay.
Like he got the camera that he used to take a picture and then on Instagram, boy.
The one that you use for fly over Yui. Joe, you have to drop the content, the man.
The content.
Drop the content.
We're going different from boss boy.
Kingman, the common denominator in Pep's UCL winnings has been Leo Messi. All right. Okay, so Joe, now you come in as a neutral.
The whole battling thing with the Champions League for Pep, right? And don't get me wrong, now an unfair argument. As much as Pep has been, like dominating the Premier League since taking over, Pep hasn't really done much more than any other City manager has done. No, all the previous City managers won the Premier League now.
True.
Yeah, check since City come in the league when you really think about it. But it's just the dominance, the centurions, the long streaks in our competitions, the way you check, changing the whole dynamic of football in terms of how the league plays, all of that. So, but yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say battle dog because you see them cup competition, I believe anybody can win it. I believe you can put Antigua in the competition for the play against Tottenham, and Antigua might just pull off and win. It just depends on who show up on the day. Because
Barca can bang that now.
Yeah, that make sure you check when you really think about it, boy. Like them cup competitions have a lot to do with luck, because you can play one. Like for example, I'm pretty sure that you can put a championship side, let's say for example, to play one of these big teams on a given day, and they beat them. It's just about in the heat of the moment who perform the most.
Lottery.
Huh?
I think once you come out of the group, it's a lottery because it's knockout.
Yeah, honestly. So I wouldn't necessarily say battle because then get to the final. No, then they get the final last year. Last year they get knocked out semis. The year before they got to the finals, and then also too when you take it into consideration now, like I said, them losing on non-basic team. You lose to Real Madrid, and so it ain't really that bad.
I mean, they did lose to Tottenham.
Yeah.
In that point, with the whole luck stuff, and you have to be good on it. It's just like the game with Man City versus Leon. That one of the game, Leon managed to make us and win the stuff. And just looking back past history when City got knocked out. It's basically like we lost in dramatic fashion. Because you look at Tottenham, look at Leon, that one still funny up to this day. Look at Liverpool catch us. Even that Real Madrid, let's not even talk about that. It's just those type of stuff.
Yeah.
Let me also put this question out there. The Inter one with Jose in 2010. Think they beat Barcelona, correct?
Barcelona, yeah.
Would this be a bigger win if they can pull it off?
Yeah, it would. For me, yeah. Because I think that Inter team in back then was better than this Inter team.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly speaking,
was expected of that.
Yeah. Honestly speaking, the best thing going for this Inter team is probably that Lukaku bromance, because them man have insane chemistry.
Right.
Like can't hide them man chemistry crazy. And as much as everybody expects City to win the final, I would not be shocked if Inter won it, because there's going to be a lot of defensive work to do as it relates to Lukaku and Lautaro.
It's an interesting thing because when I'm thinking about it, I think Barella, I think Shan, however you pronounce his name, and Brozovic in that midfield. They're coming up.
Brozovic and Bala.
Right, but they're coming up against Rodri, De Bruyne, and Gundogan. I think City edges it in the midfield, and maybe City is a better team.
I think City edges over. I think City edges in every aspect, to be honest.
Right, but again, this is still football, and they're going to be sometimes maybe City takes a shot, and they're going to be forced to defend that counter attack. So if Inter is clinical, let's say for 7 minutes, Inter scores a goal, can we expect them to keep City out?
No, but I think it would play in their favor a lot in terms of the fact that the way Manchester City plays, right? It's like the more seasoned version of what we've been trying to do this season. So, they play with the high line, they keep possession, and they just come at you. You understand? They try to control the tempo of the game and everything. But then, taking into consideration that now, you attack. The play breaks down in the midfield. Brozovic gets an interception and, gets on a quick ball to Lukaku, and Lukaku can flick that in behind. Lautaro is slow. Lautaro gets in behind in the heat of the moment. If Lautaro can get in behind, plus the Champions League finals adrenaline and score one goal, City now have to come out.
Yeah.
You understand? And I think that plays even further into Inter's hand. And what we need to remember too, yes, we say the Premier League is the best league in the world and so on and whatnot. But when it comes to tactics, I think Serie A coaches are some of the most tactical coaches in the world.
Defensively sound. I think we can give the league that.
They're defensively sound. But when you look at if you watch a Serie, you will watch a Serie A game. When you watch Premier League, you might see a little tactical adjustment here or there, every now and again. But for the most part, how one team will come out and play, the style of football and play, and how they're going to execute and what they're going to do, right? When you watch a Serie A game now, you will watch one coach make one tactical adjustment, like 5 tactical adjustments in that one game now.
Mid game, right?
Like it's a very tactical league. You understand? So I don't think. Yes, Inter are the underdogs, but I don't think they're as much of the underdogs as everybody make them out to be. Right. But then saying all of that, City can show up and at them at 6.
I think that's still on the cards too. But more, do you get worried if you go down?
What do you mean? If you're Inter, if you're City?
If more. If he gets, does more get worried if City goes to go down?
It depends on when though. If it's early, I would pick up. But if it's like let's say just put second half in general.
The 75th minute.
Yeah,
The 75th minute.
Yeah, I won't hit the panic button. But
the team didn't start. You see, I didn't start.
I would tell you, I would start with fussing. Like if that man, the boy, to try and make a ball to Rodri and he played soft, I would start to getting up my seats and doing all kind of things.
Man, start chip out and so.
Yeah, but I think a player that I wouldn't be surprised if they try to have a good game in this one would be Onana. I think it's not bad if he comes in and try to have that type of Champions League final, the first leg where we played Real Madrid and he had them couple saves to keep them in the game. I wouldn't be surprised if Onana tried to have those couple saves to keep Inter in the game. I think because he's a good goalkeeper on the day though.
I was about to say that as much as you say he's a good goalkeeper on the day, right? Onana, man, I like him as a goalkeeper because I remember when we were linked with him and Ramsdale, I wanted, as much as I was like, Ramsdale wouldn't be a bad signing, I wanted Onana. But I remember we didn't get him because of the whole situation with the charges and they had suspended him and all of that. So the club had basically pulled out. But at the same time, too, because of the style of play, Onana is that goalkeeper that sometimes just make this dumb mistake at the worst possible time. Because at the worst possible time, he can clear the ball and here what? He can see Haaland and try watching, he can try chop Haaland. You check? You can try ball roll Haaland. You can try ball roll Haaland and throw the man in game. But then at the same time, too, like you say, he also the man that pan the next day, he just can't scope on. Yeah, so it just depends. That's what I'm saying. Ultimately, I believe it's just about who is up for the game more. And the way I look at it in this game, City should be the team that's up for it because y'all have just been failing every season. You keep getting close, but you're not pull it off. Versus Inter that nobody even expected them to be in the finals in the first place. Then they're not for lose. I think whether they win it or not, they've done a great job just by getting to the finals. Versus City, Pep Guardiola, winning the league, yada yada yada, about to do the treble. But do y'all think that there's a possibility that all this trouble talk could put some extra pressure on City?
Yeah, we talked about this last show. I think that mentally, and I saw Moy posted the stats there just before we came on the show. The fans are rocking, so there's an expectation from the City fans for them to come out there and do well. So that's what I'm saying. If City should go down and the game gets a bit nervy, how would the fans react? And if the fans turn against the team, how would that play on the players? I think that it's not it could be motivation, but it could also work negatively for them too. That's how I see it.
Yeah, true. That's fair.
My honesty, right? I don't think I can describe my emotions right now whether City win or we manage to lose the final. Yeah, and if we lose, I would be crying my eyes. Not even crying, I would probably be bawling this time. But if we win, I'll be very. I know I can't describe it because I was telling Chuck before on the show. Like I've been on TikTok for the day and I've been saving things. So just for when City win, because I am confident that we would win, and that's what I have it for because I was there ready to post my stuff when we win on my status or whatever. But the trouble, even if anybody, we're probably not in their shoes, but I think if we were in their shoes, no matter how we probably would try to play it calm and probably think that, it's not the back of the mind. Something like that will always be at the back of your mind because one is a chance to make history, another one, you're going in there to win your first ever Champions League final, and that's going to give you the trouble and whatnot. But the other thing, I think now this group of City players from all the videos that I've watched for them before, like they seem to have this togetherness and this unity much more than probably what I think the other season because just see like Ruben Diaz and those type of players, little things they just always up for it and always congratulating one another, whether on a little block or running somebody outside. So again, I think the fans will be up for it anyway or the other.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm thinking about Istanbul, and Liverpool has their moment there. They can talk about that night in Istanbul with when they won it over there. Can this be a night where City, where it could come down? City can talk about their night in Istanbul too. So more when you think of it, all things considered, Pep's brilliance. Just the fact that it's football and anything can happen on the day. What are you thinking in terms of scoreline?
I think we could go out and because at one time I'm thinking, I don't care how City win. It could be a 1-0 game. I really don't care. Or 10-0, I don't care. Once we win, but I'm thinking maybe a 3-1 City or a 2-1 City.
3-1. When Inter's getting that one goal, just for argument's sake.
I think it could be a case where we score and then they manage to score an equalizer.
And then you have to go again.
Yeah, and then we go again.
Okay, that could be a nice game. I like it. I could mess with it.
Man City would be way up for it way much.
Yo, me make you know, right? Lukaku have new woman in his life. You
Yeah,
check?
don't tell you that a joke.
Big Ram on CNN, and so I get interview and I cry about his grandfather, and so you check. So right now the boy motivated. You check?
Motivated.
I want
Hey,
you joke to talk.
hey,
Yo, when you Joe, you know when you pull a family card, though, bro. I
You
bet I'll
check?
get you in the fast X
And
family.
that may show you. That may
Family.
show you.
my Gucci ambassador over there for them. Kind of the Gucci boy think he the hottest thing on this planet now.
Yo, yo, it's I hope it's a game like that where there's an equalizer and we're like, whoa, trouble now. I mean, if Inter score first, that would send the game off to a cracking start. Just before we get Joe's prediction, I'm going to go. I'm thinking that it could be possibly a 2-0 Manchester City win. 2-0 Manchester City. If Inter scores, that's gonna make my day, but I don't see them getting on the score sheet. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I see them scoring. To be honest, I want to do the underdog thing and go with them because I love. Honestly speaking, I'd love for them to win, but at the same time, I would love for City to get the treble for two reasons. One, you got burn Manchester United fans because then them treble thing now go so go so special no more. Yeah, check. So that would have just bring so much joy to my heart. And then also I can tell, my grandkids, my kids and my grandkids that, Mikel Arteta is Arsenal in the 2022-23 season. We lost out to this magnificent treble winning Manchester City team. We put our best foot forward as the youngest team in the league, but unfortunately, they were just too good. Not just for us but for the world because they won everything. Yeah.
I bet you they're going to win the Club World Cup and they win the Super Cup. Yeah, man. I mean, that year, no one at all could beat them.
Beat them, So you win some, you lose some.
They also had the best player in the world too. So they could.
He scored like 50 goals in a year.
All of that. You understand? So yeah, man, that is just so perfect. So it sounds so bad. It sound like I choke the league. Yeah,
right.
That's the whole thing. But me go with City. Me go be realistic and go with City. The expectation, like everybody, I see a City like a 3-1, 3-2 win. But all in all, I expect City to win.
Because we have the best defense in Europe.
I don't know about that. Me want more. Plenty of time there somebody get injured now. Careful.
I mean, I think
none of that.
Outside of that, I think Inter as a collective defensively is going to prove a bit more difficult than what we're thinking.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be a bit more stubborn than what we're thinking this game will be. So you may just be cagey, but something not dumb physical crazy now.
Yeah. Facts.
The man might put on trying.
And nothing for dumb fees good on there. We want top car,
True.
Me want to
You know why? Because we have Edison and I can walk around the country. Ruben Diaz, Johnny Stone.
Yeah, learn all the song and them.
They're the only City song, ain't it?
Learn all the song and them.
But that's when Gundogan score, and I play that one too. I have I have a lot of things saved, boy.
This is a big game, fellas. Any red cards? No?
Oh, yo, I know I'm a very person that loves red card now, but boy, not this final.
Joe, Edison a red card in the 25th minute.
Well, say Edison kicked on somebody.
I'm with it, bro. Lukaku running in on goal and Nichols step over. What up? My real city. Edison red card.
Yo, you're lucky I can't find my shades now, because I would just put it on right now. Black out the haters there. Look,
Edison. Okay, what about somebody? Let's say Skriniar knock some little jump and Holland end up and react and boom elbow. Holland red card. What you gonna do now?
easy. JG 10 steps up to the plate.
Okay.
Yo,
All right.
that would be my ideal, Champions League stuff, boy. Imagine Grealish score a winner, or he manages to score in the Champions League final. Yeah, I'm a big Grealish, supporter for Man City.
Munchie. I'll silence Munchie.
I don't care who getting silence, who
If,
talking.
if I'm thinking about it more, just as a neutral, what would I like to see? Probably just on how he's been going on. A Gundogan winner. A Gundogan, late run in the box, a tapping, just like he did. Just like he got when I think Sterling assisted him in the Premier League on the last day. I would like a Gundogan winner, if could be. But if it's on the other side, what's that guy's name? The Shangalang Luga, Hakan.
Yeah.
I would love a long range from him. Ruben Dias heads out the ball. I wanted to take a touch and pummel that. You remember who it was? It was Wanyama versus.
Wanyama.
You remember that Wanyama strike? Something like that. Just stay hit. A 1-0. 1-0.
Yo, no, you know me what? I'm gonna tell them what. I'm gonna tell me the love for dent them. Yeah, check. Brozovic. I like for Brozovic dent them. I hear what. You remember the first leg when Tusherman he come on and slap one and he knock the post?
Yeah.
Something like that. Something like that one. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, check something like that.
Do nothing, ending the Croatian magic that has been going on for the past. Who win the Champions League. They gonna know.
No, but to be honest, this is one of the first Champions League in a while that many even really matter to me who win. Like if City win man the Becks, if Inter win man the Becks.
Yo,
like it really matter to me.
Big thing in that, especially when City go and win like Premier League, going up against like let's say Liverpool or going up the likes of Arsenal. I've been saying to persons, I think in this scenario y'all would prefer Man City winning the Premier League than you probably would say like let's look at Arsenal. Of course Arsenal fans want them to win, but other like you're looking at United and those type of teams. I would not tell them you prefer City to win. Like if I were y'all, I would prefer City to win because you're going to hear the City uproar, but it's going to become null and dull after a while because you can say it's repetitive. Rather than if Arsenal might win the season, y'all know y'all wouldn't be talking for the rest until next season, which likely but
different in a joke. Sorry, them one. If City win it this year, we just win it next year. It's fine, just a year different.
Yeah, because you say City winning the UCL before What that ain't about me. That here the thing, right? And I might not like the argument, but at the end of the day, right, even if City win the Champions League, as much as them dominate for the past couple of years, City still have a whole ton of trophy for even come close to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, check. So okay, cool. I win the Champions League. Yeah. Till now nowhere close to the trophy cabinet that me have.
Right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
But Joe, I mentioned this to Shaq on the last show. That this whole trophy stuff and if City wins the Champions League, is our treble team better than United? And I told him that I really don't care for that. Because I'm just
hear me say, right? Hear me say, treble team better than them, boy. More, you need to fix your energy. Come off the show, boy. When me in the care.
Joe, don't get me wrong now. Yes, I will be gassing it up. But at this point,
of course.
It's the talking like, this and that. I mean, they not have nothing special. I can have that over them now.
Hear me say more. If you win the treble, I need skill on the show. if you win the treble, I need skill on the show.
Them boy nah, all them United fans just disappear off the show. Dog. Don't realize.
I think we have to go back and to get how many. I think they only had their treble winning team. I think they won the league with 81 points.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
They won with 81 points. City, how many points you had this year?
No, we lost.
90?
I think it's 90.
87?
No, we ain't reached
Wait,
90.
how much points we had? No, we had they were in front of us by what, 4 or 5 points. We had what, 85, I think.
Big man, we done true now.
We had 85 points because I think we tied. I think we tied our highest point total.
I don't think it's 90 though. I didn't think we hit the 90. So probably between 87, 89. Somewhere along
they lost on the last day.
Yeah. However you go, yeah, finishing in front of us by like 5 points.
Right. I think it's more than that treble winning team.
You would have hit the 90.
It's more than Manchester treble winning team. And I would even say, I mean, back then, I don't remember the year exactly where Manchester City did it. Wouldn't we say football is harder now?
No, that's the whole discussion because
I feel like football is more global.
It depends on how you look at it. It depends on how you look at it. Football is harder maybe in terms of talent and tactics and the genius in terms of managers. Yeah, but back then football was harder because of the physicality. The fact that one man can just wheelie foot in your ankle and the referee tell you get up. You check? Yeah, that is different. Yo, skill them man say a team a bang the wrong things no. I can't name.
Oh, Joe. I see what you're doing there, bro. I see what you're doing there, bro. Skill, come on, you have to come and answer for Anthony. Why you are hitting? I mean, just not Anthony alone. And you have one team wingers though. Then now beat nobody on the field. So then take it over and then go home, bro. What's really going on? What's really going on? City treble would be better than the United. Yeah, it says O'Neal.
Yeah, imagine
that man love Bango man.
Yeah, imagine them man. Imagine Anthony like a fidget spinner for the whole season. Can't man. You check, but then you go on a Bango man.
You check.
Tell
that
man.
Maybe
that's why he's not playing good because she put on crest, right?
I mean, I don't know. This is divert a bit. What's going on in sports? Like, I just feel like the sports people, them athletes, doing everything else other than focusing on the particular sport.
And the individual sports, yeah, correct. Like, I agree.
What to them man? Isn't what they're doing enough? NBA players, sorry, the NBA players say they want less games because too much games for them. Less games, they are doing this much mess. What you want less games for? What you gonna do with extra time?
The man just think they're so big and they can get away with anything easily. But
oh gosh, skill, look at skill. Wow. Yo, no, watch it out. Look, I feel real dog. Skill might be right. Remember, allegedly, is it allegedly or he was convicted for it?
It wasn't. He convicted. He didn't get charged from.
I think he get charged now.
Yeah. And then who now bang woman and yam top and live and that kind of craziness. Shout out Scolzy.
Facts. Yo, that man is different up there.
Them red side of United, no dog.
That man is different over there. Zion go on like he in the wrong industry.
Yeah.
just go on like if a Christmas time. I don't understand it.
That man say John go movies, go watch John Wick and forgot you're a basketball player.
That's a Rashford save lives. Did y'all sorry again, divert. Did y'all see the meme? Somebody did a video. They said Harry Kane when he takes penalty at Luton next season. Y'all see it?
No,
when he takes the penalty, he missed it. And they cut the video to somebody's bedroom. To somebody's house, I should say. And the ball knocking the person bedroom window. I'll look for it to see if I find it on Twitter. I might say that's why Harry Kane when they lose to next season. That's what I'm going.
Yeah, but then I say Luton have like a ton of things that they need to do in order for
Yeah,
the ground to be passed to play in the
yeah.
Premier League.
I think it's 10,000, 10
Because I
million,
think
maybe 10
yeah,
million in 10.
which I think in a situation like that, I think if they don't get the ground pass, they would have to like pay to use some other stadium or
Yeah,
something for the
probably.
throughout the season as their home
Yeah,
as their home stadium. Who knows? Maybe I'll go play Luton there Wembley.
maybe.
Yeah, Jack.
Maybe. But I would love for them to get it though. Just for the fact that that's what the fans are used to.
Yeah, just for
It
their
will bring the
fans. Yeah,
sense
yeah.
authenticity to the to them. That's what they
Yeah,
call
yeah,
them,
yeah.
you know. So I'm looking forward to that. We that's the Champions League. We got 9 more minutes, fellas. What's going on in the transfer window? Anything interesting, y'all? Yeah, Jude gone. I don't know. Sorry, just let me sound off on it. Jude going to Real Madrid just seems underwhelming for me. Like,
I like the move. Yeah, I understand that it's an underwhelming move, but I think career-wise, for him as a player, I think it's a great move. Yeah, I think it's a great move. Yeah, I feel like go. You left Dartman, you did Dartman, you dominate, you make this big name for yourself. I understand it's underwhelming because everybody wanted him to come to the Premier League, hardest league in the world, whatever, especially as an English player. But I feel like, going to Real Madrid, you're going to possibly the biggest club in world football, and you're going into the team in an era where you're not going to get they're not going to throw you in there because you still had the likes of Modric and Cruz and so. I feel like with Modric and Cruz still being there for that extra season, you have these greats that you can learn from and get even better, and you can gradually, be put in and take over. So I like the move for him. Yeah, he's young. I like the move, man.
The man is a little boy, really and truly.
So and that's why I like the move because this man can afford to play for Real Madrid for 5 years and then come in the Premier League and just hit prime.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. So that I like the move.
It's a safe option. It's a safe option. Not Julia. Keep calling him.
I bet Sancho wish him do something like that.
Right. O'Neal is saying, look at Sancho because I think the United fans are still waiting for Sancho to show up.
But I hear that Dortmund is inquiring about possibly buying him back.
It would be interesting, because if he goes to Dortmund and hits the numbers that he was hitting over there, what does that say about it?
It says one of two things. It says that the Bundesliga is a much easier league, or it says that Manchester United is the problem. It could be maybe the pressure of playing for a club like Manchester United. You never know. Because I remember I was talking about it the other day. I think I don't know if it was in the group or if I tweeted it or if it was on the show, but I was saying that I feel like Sancho can catch himself now. I don't believe Sancho will ever be this elite baller that people are expecting him to come in the Premier League and be. But I feel like he has a future in the Premier League, but I just don't think it's at Manchester United. Honestly speaking, I think Sancho needs to go to another team. Maybe like, who knows? Maybe like a Brighton or something. Like one team like that.
So you're thinking it was the club put too much pressure on him, or he just because he was a regular game, he was playing regularly, and then he had to be dropped.
I think it's a mixture of things. Remember the whole World Cup stuff that they were talking about, but also then you brought him into the club at a point where the club was in one of its worst periods ever, right?
True.
That doesn't help him in any way. So obviously
he was looked at right.
Yeah, that shoots his confidence down. And then additionally, during that period, because the club is so bad, everybody look for somebody to scapegoat. So this week a Ronaldo, next week a Sancho, like he just all over the place.
I mean, to that point, Joe, and Moore was saying this on the last show. I think we were talking about it in the Arsenal slander group. That's why I call it the Arsenal slander group.
Yeah.
What was saying on the is the price tag initially So he's coming into a bad Manchester United team. The fans are already looking for a savior, plus the
Yeah,
price tag, and not hitting the ground running. Yeah, man, that must have played
because
heavily on him. He can't.
Sancho is what? Sancho is the third or fourth most expensive English player of all time. That's a big pressure, dog.
Yeah,
You check?
I think that took away the fun of football from him.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't forget now that they're not everybody that there are a lot of fans that are like us that would probably, yes, you want the player to hit the ground running quickly, and we would still have a little patience with them. But remember, I mean, it's different from us watching at home, and then you have the actual fans in the stadium,
Yeah.
especially those ones that are very arrogant and want to see, things done quickly. And when them man start to put the pressure on you, even self on social media, on the them
yeah.
pick on a comment from what your team posts. I mean, pretty sure you're reading them and you're going to feel like, dang.
Yo,
What
but
is
I
crazy
mean,
enough, no. You know, the team that suits Sancho the most in the Premier League are the team that he left. City. City
yeah,
is
he could be
City
doing
is
what
the team
Grealish
that
is doing.
suits his play style the most. If you look at
Yeah,
maybe even Arsenal probably fits his play style way more than Manchester United does.
yeah. You can imagine the keeps counter-attacking.
Yeah. Yeah,
He
check.
needs more bars his foot, get his man one-on-one out wide.
Isolate and yeah,
Right,
yeah, check.
exactly.
I think this
More. Let me,
the City had like a preference in order to see if you wanted him first. But then, Pep have like a whole thing like if players like if you don't really want them back or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Sonny never really the links with Sonny and they never come back. So
me the love forget Sonny. But just before we come to you, Joe,
Facts.
with your Arsenal transfer news, transfer rumors. More, I mean, Kovacic, you want to wrap that up? I think that would be a really good fit for you. I think
Yeah,
I asked you this last show,
yeah.
but anything else you're looking at? You're hearing in the pipeline? I think you told me
yeah,
about Vardiol.
I told you about Guardiola, um, the
So wait,
Kovacic,
yo, you think that happening for real?
Guardiola.
Yeah.
I think once we get out one or two players, then we go in for him. I
King
think
man,
we need.
if I get Guardiola, right, me write up for me some of them for petition and remind them that I have 115 charges outstanding, right? Cause right now me sick and tired of you.
No,
Honestly,
there
me
was
sick
a
and tired
whole,
of you.
there was a whole discussion about that. Now somebody was saying, imagine you win the Champions League. Oh, don't forget that you all have a pack of charges on y'all. So the Man City fan was saying, who cares? You know how the English fans talk when they
Yeah,
ready to
yeah,
cuss out people. They be saying, who care? Ah, we win the Champions League. them charges get them charges get coming last time. You know, do nothing that. So let's win all the trophy we
Yeah.
need to know. So then when you hit like the next 2 3 years, take the 10-point deduction. We'll feel sad, happy and sad.
yeah. Oh boy.
Right, but what do you think about Kovacic? Is play
Yeah,
you excited
I
about?
like I like the deal. I think he's a bar that you can come in and play. If Gundogan leaves or if Gundogan stays, you could play that role. You could put in a shift at, if Roger decides to come out. But yeah, it's a good move. He knows what he's doing. He's a winner in competition. So yeah, I'll gladly take him. As of anything
Joe,
else,
I
I don't.
coming to you right now, but sorry, Demo. Finish up. We said Demo, I didn't hear the last part.
But it was just Pulisic and Guardiola. I haven't heard anything else about any other players
All
recently.
right. I was just thinking
Conversation and
to be a
you
player.
said conversation and Guardiola. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
understand anybody else? I could have sworn yeah, I will link with somebody else. Fabrizio was talking about it. I don't remember who it
I
was though,
mean,
but I could have sworn Fabrizio tweeted something the other day.
well, they had that
Well,
Declan
I
Rice
don't think yeah, like no
with
bid, but somebody I were interested in, but no official bid or anything was made.
I have to go back and see. But those are the two that has been the main conversations for the past couple of weeks.
I
Sure.
was just thinking, just to be a player, and you sit at home and your agent comes in and tells you Pep Guardiola wants you to come and play for him. I have to feel you with some great confidence. I mean, you feel like all
Facts.
the hard work has been
Is
done for
yeah,
something.
dawg.
You mean
Yeah,
recognized by
dawg.
Pep?
Yeah, check. Looking at not just that, looking at this City team and seeing how dominant they've been, and to know that Pep thinks that yeah, you were
You
the
can add
missing
stuff.
piece. you're that guy that can take them to another level. Yeah, yeah, man. That have to hit your confidence like crack. That's crazy.
Joe, you've been very vocal. Yeah, you don't want the basmati, but it seems like you're gonna have the basmati. So I am making my mind now. I either make rice porridge. I am some basmati rice.
And nah, that man don't want rice, no. I'm gonna tell you my main problem with the whole rice saga. My main problem with the rice saga are the transfer fee. That's my main concern with rice, the transfer fee. You check? Me no believe that basmati worth 100 mil. You check? Yeah. And then not just that, I understand like everybody, because I was one that was tweeting about the fact that he didn't really have a good game in the finals because what you name Aaron Bat outplay in terms of midfield performances big time. You check? But at the same time, that period of time where West Ham got the momentum and started to, get into the game, he was vital. You check? Okay. But for me personally, the reason why I don't think Declan, I don't like the price tag. I do not think that Declan Rice is this awful player, but I have always thought that he has always been overrated because of the whole fact that he's English. And that's always been my problem with him. Because yes, he does a lot of good things for West Ham, and the fact that he can play Declan don't play centre back for them, man. He don't play the 6, he don't play the 8. So the fact the versatility, is a big thing. I like that and all of that. But me just not think the man worth $100 million more. Honestly, me not see it. Yeah. And personally, I believe there are a lot of other players that, because look at it this way for me. If me buy one player for $100 million, okay, you have all these abilities, you need to be elite in one of them. He elite in nothing.
That's true.
That's my main problem. He elite in nothing. You see, like for example, they're bringing Kovacic, right? They're bringing Kovacic. Kovacic big in age, but if I am bringing Kovacic and I spend 175 mil on Kovacic as much as he at age for me, personally for me, as if I was a City fan, I wouldn't even be that bothered because Kovacic, to me, I'm a world-class player.
Right.
Yeah, Kovacic is a world-class player. Kovacic probably just the fact that he hasn't been able to stay fit. But Kovacic is probably Chelsea best midfielder, or maybe just on par when they had Jorginho. Because the two most impactful midfielders they had were Jorginho and Kovacic. Yeah, so even that more than Bex. But then this whole thing with Rice and $100 million, this English talent, and because he's young, yes, I understand he's young, he can still develop some more, but if me pay $100 million for a player, dog, you need to be elite in something. Something.
So you have no problem with the profile of the players, just the price tag.
Yeah, my main problem is the price tag, honestly speaking. But just not think, and I believe that is what causes me to have this whole thing towards him where I'm like, yo, really and truly, me even want him because I don't want him if we have to pay $100 million for him.
I just get comforted by Joe. Like if I think the profile fits, I'm gonna rock with it. Because for one, the market is inflated. I'm gonna say, okay, it's not what the player costs, it's just what you have to pay to get it. If you want people some, you have to pay what they want to get it. If the profile fits, I think I'll pay 65 for Rice.
Yeah,
they shouldn't be paying more than that.
I can even live with that. If you tell me 65, 70 for Rice, I can live with that.
If you tell me 75,
if you tell me 75, more even cost because I had the mindset that English players got always cost more than everybody else. So cool. But $100 million, dog, yeah. I believe what will determine how pleased I am with with us getting Rice is who else we bring in. Because the reason why I don't want Rice for the $100 million too, because I feel like that is going to in turn affect how much more we can improve our team. Because that's done $100 million done gone upon one player.
We need that soccer backup. Soccer backup.
But then if you bring in Rice and then you bring in you're still bringing in Caicedo, and then let's say you bring in let's say Diaby, you know, just to use as an example, you bring in
Right,
Diaby,
right.
you check, and then maybe you're still bringing in Fresneda. Then me not have no problem with Rice. Good business, because then you were still able to buy
It's a
everybody you need.
holistic window. Right, right, right.
Holistic window, then we wouldn't have no problem.
Joe,
Okay, go ahead, Moy.
me and Shaq, you know, basically touched it last year. But what's the example of players that you would buy for like 100 million or more? Like a type of
Um,
players.
but I mean, even know, like for example, Jude, I would buy Jude for $100 million.
You buy
Personally,
who?
I'm using Jude as an example that Real Madrid
Jude.
just bought.
Okay, okay, okay.
If you tell me that Arsenal buy Jude Bellingham for $100 million, man, I have no problem. Jude way younger, and Jude our extremely talented player, because I wouldn't say he's elite in anything, but majority of the things that Jude can do, he can do it at a much higher level and more consistently than Declan Rice does what he's good at. You understand? So something like that, you tell me Jude for 100 mil, no problem. You come and tell me you want 100 mil for Rodrigo from Liverpool, from Real Madrid, sorry, no problem. You come and tell me you want 100 mil for Tuchemani, I wouldn't complain, because Tuchemani, a solid player who has consistently, if you've been following his career, he's consistently been getting better and better and better. When I look at Declan Rice too, that's another thing I look at. Declan Rice, a year, 2 years ago to Declan Rice now, I don't think he's improved that much. The only thing that has changed is his position. I'm not saying he hasn't improved, but I don't think there's been any dramatic improvement. Because remember, for example, the season when West Ham with Lingard and so they're going crazy, Declan Rice was playing as the 6, right? He was playing as the 6. And yeah, they were talking about this English talent, but he wasn't being spoken about that much. Souček and so they get more attention than Rice. And then now you make the swap and put Souček for play the 6 and put he for play the 8. So now because he in a more advanced role, you know, he start get more attention and you start talk about him more, you know, leader because he's the captain of the team and so on and whatnot and whatnot and whatnot. You understand? But
he also does very well for
improvement for the
England when
past
he's on
2
international
years.
duty.
He plays well for England when he's on international duty. Yes, but I can also highlight a lot of times where there are breakdowns in play, or they concede or something, where it's the person that he should have been marking. You know, it's the ball got you one space where he should have been. Because he has this thing as good. Declan Rice will give you an 8 out of 10 performance, but in that 8 out of 10 performance, he can have like 2-3 minutes where he get caught sleeping. And unfortunately, a lot of the times, those 2 or 3 moments, the team end up and suffer because of it. So when I look for all them, some of that's just my thing with Declan Rice. Man, I hate the player, but I'm not overly convinced by him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Joe, last thing, maybe more have anything else to say. Last question, I know this is Arsenal. I was just thinking, a winger may prove problematic. A winger that could come and improve the team. I'm thinking, can we? What would you like the idea of letting Jesus also be a secondary option to Saka on that side, and we getting a striker?
Yeah, actually, that's actually what I want. I actually want us to go for a. I understand the way we're playing, but I actually want us to go for a more pure type striker, as opposed to all these players that are versatile that can play, you know, across the front three.
I need one kept coming to the bar.
Yeah, we need one out and out gunman.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so that's actually what Jesus can play on the left. Jesus can play on the right. Yes, he can strike. Martinelli can strike. Trossard can strike. Like I've even seen, we've had a few games where. Oh yeah, O'Neal said earlier.
Finish your point.
Yeah, O'Neal made this earlier that Rice no better than Enzo. currently, Rice is better than Enzo. Potential wise, Enzo has the potential to be better. Oh, back to what I say now. Like, all them man with all this versatility and so on, but like you say, Shaq, everybody come out in the space for come to the ball. Everybody want to catch one man and ice. Nobody's mindset up top there is immediately shoot, put the ball in the back of the net. Nobody. Yeah, nobody. The closest thing we have to that is Eddie.
And he still got slack for not being able to play with the ball at his feet.
Yeah, no, which is true, but then at the same time too,
it is true. So we have to find that balance.
Yeah, if you're going to be a player, even if you don't have that balance and you're going to be this poacher type striker, you need to be really good at it. If you're not gonna be able to affect the game in other ways, you need to be really good at that one thing. Yo, crazy enough, no. Right now, with how the team play, one Lacazette would have fit good up there, no.
Yo, whole season, like if we had Laka in place of that Eddie, I'm thinking it would have worked. I've been thinking, I'm watching the game, but like, yo, Laka would have hit no dog.
Yeah, perfect. Laka would have strived in this current system. Now. Yeah, check. But I don't know. Yeah, we need the out and out something.
Skill one for Enzo the show armor, man. Only the time. He said, Joe, you just wait. It's on tonight. Man says, Skill, you don't know bossy now. Take it serious. Devil, just there. I tell somebody that Laka would have been perfect. Devil agrees too. Whoa. Jonas said, I think Prime Abba would be better.
Tall.
I don't think so. O'Neal, you can't talk no ball and back shell shit. It's on tonight in the comments.
Hey, that man in
the comments. But I think the jury's still out. The jury's still out on Enzo. Next season, let's see what he does.
Jury is still out, but I think Enzo has not been this mind-blowing performer this season. I think it's more down to the fact that Chelsea have been poor. And to be honest, their midfield garbage. Their midfield has not been able.
I think we should just reserve our criticism for Enzo. Just louder, man.
I agree with that 100%.
Louder, man. Let's see what happens next year. And if we slander for us,
meeting Enzo and Bala, I would have loved to have Enzo at Arsenal. Enzo and Bala King. Because there have been a lot of spells where Enzo have had some quietly good performance in Chelsea. Sometimes Enzo the only person in the midfield that seemed like them play football. But I feel where Chelsea went wrong was, in so many ways, you sell Jorginho for bringing Enzo when in actuality you should have brought in Jorginho to complement. You should have brought in Enzo to complement Jorginho.
Right.
Because if that man still had Jorginho there to do what he does and put Enzo there, Enzo would have their ball.
I agree. Same way. That's the same way I see it. But we'll see. The transfer window is hot now. McAllister to Liverpool. We touched on that last. Yana Moy.
Yeah, that's a interesting question I had.
Just a what?
I like the interesting question.
Go ahead.
Let's use this. Okay, yeah, we're talking about City and Arsenal. Y'all are Arsenal supporters. Y'all love your club. Y'all got a call. Y'all made it professionally. You're playing for let's say y'all in Antigua. Y'all got a call to make it big time. To come and play. To play for Man City. Let's use Man City this season winning the cups. And you're a regular starter at Man City, and you're off at Arsenal, which is your boyhood club, but you're on the bench playing like a Calvin Phillips role, like how he plays for Man City, not getting a lot of game time.
No, me top of City. Me even have finish. Me top of City.
I mean, Calvin Phillips don't have a City role.
Yeah, you check. Me top of City, and here what? Every time I play against Arsenal, me put on my best performance to make it, and you forget that half of the better than that. Yeah. You check? Yeah, simple. Simple.
No, I didn't know football me love to play now.
You check? but me not line no shot. If they put me for play for Tottenham now, yeah, check. If me go Tottenham, go play for Tottenham now. Make a play right.
What's that?
Make a play now. But make a play right. But every single time, our important game, yeah, count for me for either get a red card, give it one penalty, or something.
But you see why you can't do that? Because in your mind you're thinking, no, let me get my stock up. Let me get my stock up. When I'm playing the next game, it's to get my stock up so you can get that bigger move.
Sure. So you tell me if me bag 20 assists and 20 goals and get one red card and get 2 red cards every season against Arsenal, I get one red.
We're going to ban you with Jogan. We're going to ban you for 8 months like Tony because I done something on Grande. And we got.
Okay, Joe, like
you frozen.
Look so.
Charles, partner.
Hold on, Joe, you heard me?
Yo, Ed didn't even want to know what going. And I realized
Joe, what comes up?
That man was turn off the current, dog.
I thought your video clipped up.
Life for Island fans, make it so sad. How was the joke, it's sad?
Okay, let's get to. I can't get to the last 2 comments and then I'll lock out. I'll lock out before April lock me out with that boy. Go ahead, Moy.
No, me said about like a magic trick like a while.
Yeah, who did it? All right, Skilton, last comment. All right, April at its finest. The man said, click this. Current gone. I laugh. The man said, Enzo even better than Shaq. What shit, Enzo? The way how Enzo look, he can't even make better, boys. Let's start us wait till next year we see Enzo. Yeah, but Enzo, let me for real time. He didn't lie. No lies, Tony. No lies, Tony. But guys, thank you. We gonna stay tuned to Ireland fans. We don't know what we're doing yet for Saturday, but we know we're watching the game up by Maury. So anybody want to roach, just hit me up and get the directions going.
Yeah, what time the game start?
3 o'clock.
Come on for work. May work Saturday, right? But if you look sharp, yeah, may cut 3 o'clock, dog.
Alright.
As soon as he
I don't know, get to Hardy.
Yeah,
get to Hardy. So for some reason we can't see skill comments. We thank Joe for his dedication. We thank Joe for his dedication. We see the flashlight going there. The flashlight going there. So thank Joe for his dedication.
Light is still solid now.
You know what I mean? Don't light a candle. We should have that little song playing there for big up Joe. Thank you, everybody. See you guys on Saturday. Either gonna be tears of joy for Moy or tears of sadness for the second time.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.